Oh yeah, this is it. The time is right, Bugs Bunny. It's got it going through my head and this feels alright. Check this out. Pie number 10 lifts $125,531,250,000 annually just from licensed incognito prostitution services projectile annual revenue, which we all know is shortfall. Years 26 and beyond. Okay, the RIPs, their money never changes. They get 25% of what they get. B, trickle up primaries changed. Just slightly, ever so slightly. Here's how it's going to break down. It's basically pretty much everything is either erased or it's very simplified here. Participating local general funds, you get 1%. Well, actually, let's do it like this. Trickle up primaries came in at 3%. Each of these getting 1%. That'd be the participating local general fund, participating state general fund, and the POP physician program for each getting $1,255,312,500 off of that $3,765,137,500 budget. And another 4% of the POP's 1%, $49,012,500 going to Department of Treasury from the years 26 beyond. The intent is 100 years total for the program. So as you can see, this is a fixed amount of money that will stay there forever. Participating local general funds, participating state general funds, the POP physician program, and as you can see, as POP physician took another bite, but that's because the system is built at this point. We didn't have to run around and do a lot of things. There's certainly going to be new technologies at this point, but the system itself, all the infrastructure is already built. Let's fly on. Trickle up economics intermediates. Those were the primaries. These are the intermediates. It's an effective rate of 15% or $18,829,687,500, with each of these getting 2.5% of 6 of them equaling that 18%. So each one is going to get $3,138,281,250 annually based on the projected annual revenue. And those 6 will include FEMA, Patriotic Adult Labor Services. You bet we're keeping people employed. The Eco Village Training Center. And there's an important point here. What's going to happen is that the Eco Village is going to, boy, I didn't write it down. You know that? It's written in tab. The Eco Village is going to transfer control over the United States Department of Energy, but we'll get into that in a bit. The POP physician program, the ROAR, see? The people are still getting taken care of. The ROAR, which is medical research, 10% of that, or $313 million a year going directly to AIDS, HIV, and then TOTS, because we're still taking care of them at the tune of over $3 billion a year. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the effective rate of the federal government's money, at least 10% annually, and sometimes much higher, much higher, is going to resolve illegal immigration problems. We have to nip that bud. We have to take that bud and smoke its ass. We have to get it out of there. We have to resolve the illegal immigration problem, which we will do in going global in our future world. In the meantime, the illegal immigrants realize at this point, once this is enacted into law, they've got 90 days. Their ass is gone one way or the other. They can leave, or we will take them one way or the other. And you're not going to hide behind your kids. That money goes to the Department of Defense. We will take your kids. Okay, D, the Energy Self-Sufficiency Project. Each of these are going to take 2.5%. And the Federal Pop Pie, number 4. So we're finally at the Federal Pop Pie or Pie Piece, number 4. And these people have their budgets reserved, once again, for 75 years if everything goes right. So the Energy Self-Sufficiency Project test is scoring $3,138,281,250 annually. Ditto for the Fed Pie. Then we come to NOAA and NASA. Check out NOAA and NASA. Deep space, deep sea, exploration, colonization. Just the knowledge of what's going on in the ocean will compel us, you would really hope, would compel us to clean up our own acts. Seriously. But in the meantime, NOAA needs the money. Our oceans are a mess. And once again, this is applicable to every nation on Earth. So if all of their equivalents, their NOAAs got on the same page, we could actually make a global difference. Back to that ETC, one community, one housing project at a time. If everybody gets on the same protocols, dig it. So NOAA, you're up to $13,808,437,500, or 11% of the effective pie number 10 budget there. NASA, that's ditto for you, another $13 billion annually for you for the next 75 years. And there's the burn. They said, oh, we'll revisit you in 2020 and we'll talk about that billion. Nah, we're revisiting you now, NASA. By the time 2020 gets here, you'll be clocking a couple extra billion a year. By the time 2030 gets here, you'll be clocking 13 plus billion on top of your existing budget, which I heard at the time was 18 billion. So now let's go to our future world and let's wrap this up and get the world out of here. Our future world flies through the roof. It goes up to 31,318,812,500 a year. Now you imagine that our future world has nothing to do with NASA, kind of nothing to do with NOAA either. What in the world are we doing? We're cutting holes. We're actually digging big ditches. Yeah, we're going to put massive people to work. And in these projects, once again, as the other nations also participate, we'll be able to affect radical, massively, quick, swift change in nations like Africa that really need us. We're already over there once our future world gets paid, but this is full bore for the next 75 years. And once those projects are paid off, well, that all goes to Congress. I have it planned out, so it'll take about 100 years to do this, depending on how you want to do it. But we're not borrowing from any bankers or paying any interest rates. If anything, we are the new bank, as you will see in Going Global. Congress, this was supposed to be 5%. I was crunching the numbers in the middle of the night, as I often do, and get lost in this mess of numbers. You have been reduced to 2% to make this whole thing an effective 100% of that. So you get 2% annually, 2,510,625,000. I apologize for my promo stuff. It's always easier to apologize than try to go through and take a percent here and a percent there and recrunch all that. Nah, Congress, you're the one that took the hit, okay? And with that, as you know, if the agencies don't exist anymore, the Congress automatically takes the money anyways. In Congress, there's also plenty of money for you in that pot pie number 4 anyways, and all the other pot pies and everything else. You're doing good, and you're saying, look, the money went out and it was dispersed as fairly as reasonably as possible.